Good afternoon, survivors. It's a beautiful day here in Tallahassee, Florida, but it's hot, mid to upper 90s, sweltering. So today I'm at Pedrick Pond Park, our local library park, and I love this area. Beautiful, big live oak trees. It's a great way to celebrate nature and physical health and Qigong. And I hope your week has been good, and I hope your upcoming week is going to be even better. So today I wanted to talk about Qigong and plants, uh, particularly one special, very special plant. I love plants, and of course, plants form the basis of all the nature around us. So find a comfortable spot. Shout out to Aortic Hope for sponsoring this video. And as always, make sure you have checked with your doctor before doing any exercise program, Qigong or otherwise, especially if you are an aortic dissection or cancer survivor like myself. And my Mayo Clinic doctors give me the thumbs up. Qigong is such a healing modality. So I want to share with you today. Let's talk about plants. Plants are very special. Plants are some of the oldest forms of life on Earth. And look around. Instead of seeing green, I like to think of the different shapes of leaves on the trees and the shrubs and the grass. And there's a beautiful lake over here to my right. There's a lot of littoral shelf vegetation, shoreline vegetation, and we do have some mosquitoes out. That's why I'm grabbing my leg, but I'll ignore the mosquitoes for right now. One of the most interesting aspects about plants that I've always thought is plants take dirt, rainwater, and they eat sunshine. And from those three components plus carbon dioxide, they make some of the most complex chemicals that humans have a very difficult time duplicating in the laboratory. And phytochemicals and botanical plant substances have served humans for millennia as medicinal and food products. So, big shout out to plants. Another very interesting aspect that relates directly to Qigong and the structure as I stand here, and my feet are rooted in the ground and my head is pointing towards the sun. And you can guess what I'm going to say is that plants too are rooted into the ground, yet they reach up towards the sky and towards the sunshine. So plants are a great example for me with my bodily structure, and they're a great inspiration for me too in their beauty and their majesty as they reach towards the sky. So if you can find a good, comfortable stance, I like to do feet shoulder width apart and feet this way. Okay. All right. Feet shoulder width apart and root your feet firmly in the ground. As you are rooting your feet in the ground, think of the tree roots around you as the trees sink their roots deep into the earth. This is the way our energy flows as we learn about it in Qigong from the earth up our central channel, out the top of our head. The point on the center vertex of our head is called Bai Wei in Chinese Mandarin. And the Bai Wei point is the point that the energy exits our body and flows up to the heavens. And it's not just a one-way flow from earth up to heaven or from heaven down to earth, but it's a constant back and forth, just like the trees taking in energy, sunlight energy from the sky and the sun, bringing it down, then drawing up water up the roots and nutrients from the soil, the organic matter, into our body. So there's a constant flux up and down the central channel of our body. We call that the Chong Mai, the central channel of our body. Big shout out also to Yochi Qigong and my master teacher, Marissa. And thank you, Marissa, for all you've shared with me on my healing journey with Qigong. So, thinking about trees again and the flow of energy, we want our structure to be straight. And I like to relax, open the joints in our body, just nothing tense, nothing tight, everything relaxed. You can start at your toes and your knees, your hips, your neck, your shoulders, your elbows, and your fingers. No stagnation, just total relaxation. Then we're going to sink our breath into our belly and form what I call the Tai Chi pull, a straight channel up and down by slightly tucking our chin in and lifting our pubic bone up just a little bit, tucking our buttocks under like we're sitting on fixing to sit on a chair. So we've got straight structure, just like those tall pine trees. Straight structure, unimpeded flow of energy from the heavens down to the earth and from the earth back up to the heavens. We're going to sink our breath into our belly, our lower dantian. And as we've done many times before here, we're going to do some belly breathing by inhaling and letting our belly flow out. Exhaling, belly comes back in. Let's do 3 of those breaths. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly contracts. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly contracts. Last time. Good. Now let's do a little bit of warm up before we talk about this one special plant that I absolutely love. And this flow is called knocking on the door of life. We move from the hips. We don't have to move our arms at all. Our arms follow our waist and hips back and forth, knocking over the sea of chi, our navel in the front, just below our navel, and our Mingmen point in the lower back. Knocking over the Mingmen point stimulates the water flow in our kidneys, moving that Jing essence throughout our body. Put a smile on our face. Let's turn just a little bit faster and let our hands come up to our lungs, knocking over our lungs and our middle back and forth, feeling the chi flow through our body. Finally, let's bring it up over our heart to our shoulder and slowly unwind. Let our arms come down and hang by our side. Feel the chi survivors flowing through our fingers and our arms. Okay, let's do spinal cord breathing where we grasp our fist very lightly, like we're holding 2 baby birds. And we're going to inhale, arms go back, chin up, look towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees slightly, tuck your chin in. You don't have to bend forward and bring your shoulders together, creating a peristalsis pump up the spine to move chi energy. Inhale back. Exhale on the engage as we come forward. Tuck that chin in. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Feel that do my circuit along the spine. Stretch ever so nicely. And the Renmai, when we open up in the front, stretch. One more time, survivors. Good. Now bring your arms down. Let them hang by your side. And let's shake like a tree. Just give it a good little bounce. Shake those hands and those fingers back and forth. Smile on our face. just get that chi flowing. If there's any stasis or stagnation in our channels or our blood vessels, we're gonna shake it loose. Get that chi flowing. Okay, slow down and come back to center. Today we're going to talk about lotus grows from the mud. One of my favorite Qigong flows. It's actually an integration flow where after you do your attuning and your purging and your tonifying and your growing and your circulating, then we integrate all that Qi that we've balanced out, that Qi energy into our bodies through an integration flow. You know, some of the integration flows that we've done in the past where we reach up and bring down heavenly chi. I love this integration flow. But lotus grows from the mud is one of my favorite Qigong flows for many reasons. First of all, the lotus is symbolic of rejuvenation and transformation. So the roots come out of the muddy, dark waters in the bottom of the pond where there's hardly any light. Yes, it's very grounded, and it's the water element and it's the earth element. But I like to sometimes compare that an analogy to sometimes on our life's journey, we might be in a really dark, murky place that we're not sure of where the light is and how it's going to turn out. So I always turn to the lotus flow because the lotus flow speaks to me of transformation. And I know as an aortic dissection survivor, there are plenty of dark, murky moments in life where I've wondered before, am I going to survive the day? Am I going to see my kids grow up? And thankfully, I have, and I'm still seeing them grow up as adults. So I've been very blessed about that. But many times along our aortic dissection journey, and even through my kidney cancer journey, my cancer journey, there's been many dark days where it's been murky and I really can't see the light. And I wonder just what is going to happen. So, turning to the lotus flow, I always love to think about the roots of the lotus plant establishing themselves deep underneath the water surface into the mucky bottom, the earth. And then as the the roots grow and are nourished by the nutrients from the water element and the earth element, then a sprout begins to come up out of the roots, growing up through the water. And as it grows, it reaches towards the surface and sunlight. And then once the lotus stalk breaks through the water surface, the leaves reach out. Open your arms wide to receive all the energy from the sunshine and the air and the good, positive energy from the heavens. And then, as the nutrients filter down through the body of the plant back to the roots, and the roots draw water and nutrients back up, then slowly but surely a bloom begins to sprout out of the top of the lotus, the lotus stalk, and soon a beautiful lotus flower begins to open up, opening towards the sunshine, towards the sky, towards the heavens. And I like to envision this lotus stalk and flower bud coming out of the top of my head, just reaching out towards the cosmos. And I know everything's going to be all right. The infinite Tao sends energy back down to the lotus blossom on top of my head, down the central axis of my body, the Chongmai, down through the different channels and disperses back into the earth. Then we gather earth energy, draw it up our central channel, balancing yin and yang, reaching out in a great big lotus bloom towards the heavens. Again, sweeping down. I love this flow, this undulation from earth and water up through the sky. Such a beautiful flow to do, survivors. Whenever you are in doubt or despair, step outside if you can. If you can't, do this in your apartment or your home, tracing the central channel down, dispersing the chi out, gathering earth and water chi, bringing it back up the lotus stalk, opening the blooms of the lotus flower, bringing it back down the stalk to the earth, spreading that chi back into the earth, gathering water and earthly chi, bringing it back up the lotus stalk to the upper dantian and above, out. And then I like to pull my hands in, just like the lotus flower has captured all of the cosmos energy, the energy from the heavens, and drag that energy down the central channel and store it into the sea of chi below my navel, chi high. Just press it in to my lower dantian and store all of that beautiful chi. Then let my hands come down to a Bao Chi pose and look up to the sky, grateful for the sunlight, look down to the earth and the water, grateful for the nutrients, and I feel blessed. And this flow has always helped me through some of the deepest, darkest times on my aortic dissection path and cancer path. And again, great shout out to Aortic Hope. Great shout out to Yochi and Marissa. And as always, may you be blessed, survivors, and filled with chi. Looking forward to next week already. Have a wonderful week.